霞の呼吸死の型遺留切り
Kasumi no Kokyu. Hey everyone, I'm going to react to Demon Slayer Season 3, Episode 3, A Sword... Oh shit, why did I do that? A Sword from over 300 years ago. So, last episode, we found out that the person that was, that looked like the upper first, was a mechanical doll, and his name is Yorichi or something like that, and is used as some kind of training thing. And then Kotetsu, who was the little boy, supposed to be like the last person that can possibly be able to fix it if something happens to it. So Tanjiro was training with it, and then he developed this other kind of sense where he can sort of sense the movement of the doll, and then he was able to slice the doll's head off, and then there was a sword that was sticking out of it, and I'm pretty sure that sword was from the swordsman from the dream, and all that. So yeah, that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/feelingme. And now let's start this episode, and here we go. I don't know why I paused that, but either way. Okay, yeah, while the outro was playing, I was like, let me Google how many human emotions there are or whatever. And then the first thing that I saw was like, there are, what did it say again? 27 different types. I think that's what he said. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, see, 27 distinct types of emotions or whatever. And then you go down here, and then they said, what are the 12 human emotions? And then you have all these: interest, joy, surprise, sadness, anger, disgust, contempt, self-hostility, fear, shame, shyness. And that one is me, shyness, and guilt. And then the reason why I googled it was because this upper 4 demon, when you slice its head off, it creates like 2 different, it's like another one shows up. And then when there was that one that when he did the sonic boom or whatever, sonic scream at Tanjiro, and then his tongue came out, and then they wrote joy in there. And then I was like, okay, if this guy can split it into all these different, can split it into 2, like each body can split it into 2, how far can he go? And if one, like that particular one, has joy or whatever, is so joyful, then probably the others also have like different emotions stuff. So I'm like, that probably will give me how many of them there are possibly gonna be, That's why I googled it. And when I saw the 27, I'm like, Charlie, that's nah, I don't know. But then I saw the 12, so I'm like, maybe the most that he can split into is 12. But that's too much. That is too much. And I got sort of like, not confused, but when, okay, he split into 2 the first time around, right? And then it's what's his name, Genya cut. Okay, you know what, let me Google this real quickly, because I feel like they're the same person. It would surprise me if they were voiced by different people. Bakugo voice actor. What the heck? I was trying to look up the voice actor, and then I saw the first thing that popped up after that Bakugo was Bakugo death. These people better not kill Bakugo off. Okay? I mean, I see death there, but that doesn't mean that he's actually dead. But if he dies, people, this show would just go down the drain for me. I don't care if he's not, if Deku's been the main character, he's my favorite character on that show, so they better not kill him off. Bakugo voice actor. Why you know, whatever. Nobuhiko Okamoto. See, it is him. Oh my gosh, he also voiced Dang, why is his name escaping me? Like these 4 characters on top right there, they are like my, I'm not gonna say you're my favorite, but what's his name? Oh, Mimi. Karma. Oh my goodness. It took me so long to remember his name. Like I was looking through my notes and then stuff. So he also voiced Karma in Assassination Classroom and Nishinoya in Haikyuu. Oh my goodness. Some of my favorite characters. Like Bakugo, of course, my favorite character and my hero. Then you have Nishinoya, which I feel like he's also my favorite character in Haikyuu, you know. And then you have Karma, who's my favorite character in Assassination Classroom. Wow. And then I feel Genya, I feel like since I couldn't quite remember his name in the show. I was also watching the show and I'm trying to remember his name. I'm thinking, okay, Bakugo. But he's not Bakugo in this, so it's like they both sort of have the same characters. If they were different character-wise, I would be like, okay, you know, I feel like it would make me want to remember Genya's name more, or not more often, but like quickly, I guess. But since they reacted the same, you know, Bakugo and Genya, they react the same. So it's like when I can't remember Genya's name, I'm like Bakugo. So yeah. Where was I with this? I think I was talking about the I was saying that I was sort of like slightly confused a little bit until I wasn't. You know, when the first time they split, it was Tokito that split their heads in, you know, split both of their heads, I believe. And then no, that split one, the first one that showed up, he split the head and then they, you know, split into 2. And then that was when Genya showed up and then he split both of them, right? Both bodies. And when he split both bodies, and then Tanjiro was telling him, don't do that or something like that. They were gonna split again and stuff. So at first it sort of felt like it was just 3 of them. So I'm like, oh, so it's just gonna stop at 3. That's what I was thinking until the one that was flying picked up Tanjiro and was living with him and whatnot. Oh, Nezuko. She was just being so adorable this episode until she had to grow up because they were being attacked and all of that. And when she started attacking one of the demons and whatnot, Tanjiro told her not to transform, or she was gonna go full demon. You know, she did that last episode, and it was scary because it felt like she didn't care. She was just like stomping and smiling like wickedly, and I'm like, no, please go back to being my cute Nezuko and stuff. So as Tanjiro was being like dragged away, you know, and he was telling her, go help Genya, go help. He was telling her that go help Genya until he looked, and then he saw Genya being like speared and stuff, being hurt. I don't think he's dead, of course. I mean, they can't kill him. The guy just showed up after 2 seasons. He just showed up in this season, and they are finally focusing on him, you know. So of course he's not gonna die right then and there. But he is clearly in trouble. And then Tanjiro was being lifted up, and he tried to use his move, but it wasn't. Yeah, it didn't work fast enough. That demon just like, and then he was like thrown onto the ground. He was having a hard time moving, but he was having a hard time. And then the demon showed up again and was about to scream in his face again. And that's when they switched to Tokito, who was making, after he was, I love that moment. I don't know why it was funny to me. Tokito is like, first of all, I love the way he speaks. It's like, so, I don't know, not monotone, but like someone that doesn't have a care in the world or something. I don't know. It's just the way he speaks, I love. And then his facial expression is just like, I don't know. And so when that demon was like used the fan or whatever, just was it a fan that he used? And just like this strong wind just like propelled Tokito far away, and then his face was just still was like, if he was me or anybody else, the person will be sort of like, I don't know, there will be more emotion showing out of the face, like I'm being fooled or something. But he was just like, and then Tanjiro no Jutsu worked because he was making his way back. I feel like Tokito is a very, very logical kind of person. I'm just speculating, but I want to believe that he didn't used to be that kind of person, and then whatever happened to him that made him become a Hashira, that I feel like his logical mind was sort of born out of that. So as he was making his way back to the demons and stuff, and then he was like, okay, if these demons are attacking, then they're attacking the swordsmith village, then that means I need to protect the head swordsmith first, the chief. I need to protect him first, and then those swordsmiths that are, the most skilled swordsmiths, I need to protect them as well, because they rely on these swordsmiths to make their swords and stuff so that they can fight these demons. So if you destroy these village, which is what the upper 5, Gyoko, which is what he was talking about, like destroy these villagers and everything, and then that's it. You will be dealing like a heavy blow to the Demon Slayer core and whatnot. So Tokito is like, okay, let me just go and save these people. And then as he was running, you see Kotetsu being attacked by this demon and stuff. And he was making all these logical calculations in his mind, and then he remembered what Tanjiro told him about, because Tokito had asked him, why does he care about people so much? And then he said that, if you do something to somebody, then it's gonna come around to you or something or other like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. So true, like in real life. So he told Tokito that, and then Tokito remembered that. So he went and is now about to save Kotetsu. So yeah. I think that was it. I love that moment too, when he just Tanjiro and Nezuko were sleeping, right? And then Tokito showed up and he was just like pinching his nose. And Tanjiro woke up, and then he told him that he took too long to wake up, like his reaction was too slow or something. And then that's what Tanjiro told him, that if he pinched his nose with a malicious intent or something or other, that he would have woken up sooner or something or other like that. I don't know, but I love their interactions. I'm still sort of like intrigued with why Tokito seems so like out of it sometimes, you know. He's seen Nezuko plenty of times, okay, but then he's still like, have I seen you before? You know, it seems that sometimes he'll be like in the clouds, just thinking, I don't know what he's thinking, but then he will be like coming back down to earth and be like, oh, do I know you or something? Or I don't know. Like, I wonder where his mind goes when he's doing all those things, you know? So, yeah, and then he was asking Tanjiro about the, I forgot his name, the one that told Tanjiro that Haganeska, you know, his weak point is tickling and all that. He said that he was his swordsmith and that he was making his new sword or something or other like that. So he was asking Tanjiro where he was, and yeah. So that's it with them, and Genya. Oh wow, the sword. They started this episode with the sword, you know, sticking out of the doll and everything, and they were trying to convince. I don't know what kind of. I don't know what they were doing, but like just Kotetsu was telling Tanjiro that he should have the sword, you know, and Tanjiro was making, oh, I can't have it, you know, it's over there, and they were just doing all these things, and then he finally decided to keep it. He pulled out the sword. The sword was rusty. You know what they said? They said was like the sword was from 300 years ago, and then Kotetsu was telling Tanjiro to, you know, take the sword, and I'm talking to myself. I'm thinking to myself, like, this sword was from 300 years ago. There's no way that sword is still in shape. But then Kotetsu said that the steel from that time was so super strong. So I'm thinking, okay, then the sword must be okay. And then he pulled out the sword, and what I thought was blood was actually rust, which it makes sense. The sword was from 300 years ago. And that's when Haganeska showed up, and he was like, give me the sword. You know, he wasn't outright saying then and there that he was gonna try to fix the sword and everything, but that's what he was trying to do. And that's where Hana, what's his name again, showed up and tickled and all of that. So Haganeska has the sword. He's gonna, I think they say it was gonna take 3 days to polish. 3 days to polish. So Tanjiro was telling this story to Genya. I was telling them that they were friends. Like, oh, we're not friends. Since when? You sort of broke my arm. They showed that scene back up. He's like, it was your fault. You shouldn't have been rude to that girl or whatever. And then Genya is speaking to him and everything. And then he noticed that all his teeth are, there's no missing teeth. So I'm like, okay, did he grow? Or did he get an implant? Like, I don't think he got an implant. I feel like that teeth grew back in. Which, if that teeth grew back in, it hasn't been that long. That means there's something special about these people. Okay? Whoa. Do they have demon blood in them? Because demons can regenerate and everything. So if you regenerate a tooth, that means you must have some kind of demon blood, something. I don't know. There's something in their family that's weird. And then he was speaking to himself, and he was telling his brother that he needed to do this or something or other like that. I don't know. So he went and I think he went to his swordsmith, and I feel like his swordsmith was the one that upper 5'8" Gyoko. I feel like that was his swordsmith. I'm not sure, but he went there. He didn't see anybody, so he picked up his sword, and then he also had a gun. Which this anime, I don't know. This anime has all been like, you have all these swordsmiths, you know. All the demon slayers have swords and stuff. So you're thinking all of them will be using swords. But then he has a gun. Okay. Well, a gun and a sword. So, yeah. So he picked up his sword, and then that was the last time we saw of them. And then you have Tanjiro braiding Nezuko's hair, just like the female Hashira, you know. hair the way she's, and then they said that was Nezuko's idol. I'm like, oh, so it's so cute. So he was braiding her hair and everything, and then they fell asleep, right? And then you see the upper fourth. What's his name? Oh, I'm sure I wrote it down previously. But then when they split, they call themselves other names. Hantegu. That's what I wrote down. Hantegu. I wonder what that means in Japanese. I wonder if these names, because after he split the first time, one called itself Karaku and the other called itself, was it Sekido? I wonder if that means, you know what? Let me Google joy in Japanese and see if that corresponds to a particular one of the demons' name. Joy in Japanese. Oh shoot, what did I just? That's not what I. Joy in Japanese. Yorokobi? Is there another? Oh. Okay. Yorokobi. Okay, so I guess. Well, I was about to say maybe I was wrong, but Karaku. Karaku in Japanese. There's a karakuchi in Japanese over here. Let me see what that is. Spicy. Okay, let me remove the chi and see. Karaku / Kingdom of Sandalwood is the nation name for Kyoto. What does Karaku mean in Japanese? Splendid, excellent. No, I don't know why I'm doing all these things. Because I was trying to say, like I said, when I saw the joy thing, I'm like, okay, do these demons have a specific human emotion, I guess, attached to them, And then that's why I started doing all this Googling and whatnot, but I don't know. Okay, let me see. I think that's basically what happened this episode. I want to look at. I just decided that I wanted to do this from now on. Like each time after I see an episode, like go through the comments of that particular episode just a little bit. At a point in life right now where it is. But I definitely underestimated this upper rank demon when I first saw him. I understand that because it was the way the demon just like crawled into their room and then he was, I don't know, acting sort of like weird, and then the demon was there and then they were all it took a moment for Tanjiro and Tokito to realize that this was an upper rank demon, and then what the demon was like, I don't know, it was just weird. But then when they cut his head off, and then that's when you're like, oh, okay. Then again, Tanjiro thinking he's friends with everyone he meets. Probably finish in seconds. Haganiska pretty built. Oh yeah, they did mention that he was training for Tanjiro because all the sword that he's been making for Tanjiro have just been like it's been like destroyed and everything, and he doesn't want Tanjiro to get hurt. I forgot about that. That's what I mentioned. See, sometimes it's good to read the comment sections. At least what I like about Crunchyroll's comment section, they actually marked the ones that have spoilers in it, so I'm not that worried about reading spoilers on a particular episode. I wish they could do that with YouTube. Nah, okay. Dear future viewers. Oh, okay. Wow. Forgot about Google Voice title is also genius. Yeah, I just saw that. See, like I said, this one is like spoiler. So show spoiler. You have to click on it before it actually shows what the person says. Like, if you think Demon Slayer is the best anime, there are so many great animes out there. I'm not gonna say that Demon Slayer is the best. Which one is the best? I don't know. There are so many great animes out there. Kidoki. That was not 20 minutes. That was like 5. That went from 0 to 100. Yep. Why does he always end so quickly? Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't read the mangas. Yeah, I was not expecting a fight either. I think I started expecting a fight after I saw that demon show up. The upper fifth Gyoko. After I saw him show up, that's when I started expecting a fight. But before that, I'm like, I felt like this was just gonna be sort of like a normal episode or something. But yeah. I know, right? I love how this show can instantly go from cute and funny to intense and epic. Kenya is Bakugo. That is so true. That's exactly what I said. Kenya and Bakugo, they are the same character. And Nesco was way too adorable this episode. Yes. Yes. I know, right? Let's just stop there. I love this episode. Like, I'm not, to be completely like honest, I'm not worried about these characters. I'm not worried about anything happening to Genya. How about Baku? Happening to Genya. I'm not really worried about that, at least not for now, because I feel like we just got into him. And we need to know more about him and about his brother, his backstory. So I'm not really worried about him dying. I'm not worried about Tanjiro or Nezuko dying. I'm not worried about Tokito dying either. So it's like, yeah, all these things that are amazing are like, amazing. All these things that are happening are like amazing and everything. But I'm not really worried. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to episode 4, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/filmy, and you can also see the full length of this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Ese turno viven los hijos que nunca tuvimos en bruto.